Hello everyone, welcome back to Train Sim World 2. Today we're here on the Long Island Railroad route doing a timetable from Hicksville to New York Penn Station. This is timetable scenario 2009. We're here on the M7 in the Long Island Railroad livery doing our doing the 10 car set, and let's get started. So it's been a long time since we've been doing a Train Sim World scenario. Oh, get the key in. I don't know why I'm doing it from this far. And then I think unlock. Yeah. Here, first off, let's go ahead and get this locomotive set up. First, we need to turn the loco on, or at least apply power into it, I should say. We'll put the reverser key to forward. Let's go ahead and put the brakes down to max brakes. We gotta charge the brakes as well. So let's charge the brakes. I think we have to go to about 80 or 90 brake pressures. 90. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get the lights on. Let's put on some that cab gimbal lights. Those always look cool. Got some time. I'll bring the brakes back just a little bit more so I don't accidentally push that into emergency. I think that's all we need to do. Then we will be on our merry way out of Hicksville. More seconds here till we have to shut the doors. Switch over to the controller here. And I think for the rest of this scenario, I am just going to use the D-pad to lock doors. So lock left. That just makes it so much easier. Listening to that, let's go and roll down a window. And let's go ahead and get going. Let's put this thing into notch 3. Guess we can use the horn. It's commuter service. I don't think we really need the horn. Whoops. Let's not ever touch the reverser again. Shades down. Why not? Apply a little bit more throttle here. A little bit more power, I should say. Got clear. Looks like we're in about a 35 maybe mile per hour zone, but we will be hitting an 80 once we get up to speed. Thing up to notch 5. Hear the thing spool up here. Still got to clear. Coming up to that 80, but we gotta watch our speed here. That might be a 40 maybe. Yeah. Alright. Slow up just a little bit. We'll wait for the rest of our 10 car consist pass. And just waiting for the rear of it to pass it. We've hit the 40. Went downhill a little bit. And there we go. Now we've hit the 80. So let's go ahead and slowly bring it back up. And let's get moving. So yes, it's been a long time. I apologize. I feel like I say that every video, but obviously, YouTube is not my main job, and I've been very busy with my main job. But it's been a good busy, quite frankly. It's one of those things where it's just nice to stay active, stay busy. Just kind of keeps you in the right mindset. You don't really lag, far behind because you're always thinking, you're always moving, and just trying to make sure you're on top of everything. So, yeah, I've like I said, been busy, but for the most part, hoping to get back into a little bit more of a YouTube cycle, especially since we just hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel, and I couldn't be more thankful enough for that. So hopefully I can get more content to you guys, and yeah, what better way to, come back from a hiatus than to do a train simulator video, because that seems to be the most popular one here on the channel. So I appreciate you guys following along with that, and hopefully I'll get more assortment of content more regularly as well. Looks like we've reached the 80. I'm gonna just keep it in that minimal power setting. We're kind of going downhill though. Let's put it in coasting mode. We're 4.4 miles to Mineola. I think that's how you pronounce it, Mineola. I'm really bad with names and places and such, but yeah, so we're in the M7 Long Island Railroad. I'm not much of a passenger guy. If anything, I like Amtrak stuff over anything else. But when it comes to commuter stuff, I just don't really bond with it, if that makes any sense. But, this stuff is still pretty cool. It's still part of railroading. And there's still a lot of history to it as well. So it's still cool to do. This is one of the first routes I kind of just regularly did within the past couple of weeks, just to kind of get back into the swing of things on this, especially since this route, along with the other one, I forgot what the other route was, Dovetail Games focused a lot of their attention towards. Like, this was like some of the most attention for preserved collection stuff. And I don't really know the details of that. I think there's just a lot of things that Dovetail Games wanted to get right, get some optimization down, make sure just everything was working well. So by the looks of it, you know, I don't really recall the route prior to it coming over to Train Sim World 2, but it seems like they've done a good job, especially optimization wise. It seems to be pretty good. I don't know why my mouse doesn't work. There we go, now it works. Okay. I mean, I'm mostly using controller anyways. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's always nice to learn new routes as well. I think this Long Island route's probably one of the best visually. I didn't really think it to be this visually pleasing. You know, it seems like they got most of the scenery down, especially the scenery close to the tracks. Seems they did a fairly good job with that. Alright, before I go on the next talking point, looks like speed's still good, signal's still good. We're coming up to about 1.5 miles to Mineola. Braking, whenever it comes to passenger services, I always have a hard time braking and getting these constantly slowed down for stations. I have no idea why. But I think it's just because we're on a very tight time schedule for passenger services that I'm never really good at it. So let's go ahead and put it in coast. Let's just go do a little bit of minimum brake here. Usually when we get to the 0.7 mile mark, it's kind of a good time to start braking a little bit more. We want to make the passenger experience comfortable as well. So let's go ahead and go to 3. Start slowing down here. We're about 30% in the brakes. Let's just see how we do with that. Might let off a little bit more. Stopping a bit too soon and too early, but make the experience somewhat smooth. A little bit more here. About 40. 2 rails kind of merging up to the main tracks here. Might be coming in a little hot. And well, we might have did good on that. Yeah, I think we're stopped right on it. Put off the brakes just a little bit more. Looks like the platform is on our right here. Oh yeah, we'll stop with good pace here. Nice. I'll consider that a win. Let's go unlock the rights. And we were about a minute early, which was good there. Do some free cam as well. Mineola, that's a pretty cool station. So we got a car park there. Bus doing janky turns. Car doing a janky turn. So like passenger walking bridge over it or something. Interesting little station, interesting little area. I do not like the fact that there's like nothing in this parking garage. Kind of wish there was some detail in that. Oh, there's detail in that one though. So why was there detail in that and not that parking garage? Huh. Or that one, as a matter of fact. That's all like copy and pasted parking garages here. Here's our M7. We serve with pride, the Long Island Railroad, the MTA. Coming up to locking the doors here, so let's get ready for that. So lock right in a couple seconds. And lock doors. Beautiful. All right, let's get this thing rolling. Why don't we do an exterior shot? Shall we go to the front boom? Favorite camera angle. This is where I lower my headset so I'm not pierced by the screeching, because that is incredibly annoying. And I am experimenting too with OBS. I just found out today that you can export audio tracks separately. For some reason I didn't know that, so hopefully I'll be able to correct the audio and such, and it won't be a pain for the viewers. There we go, do a little bit of third person here, and we got, looks like 9 miles to Jamaica. I think we're still at 80 miles per hour. We still got all clear on the signal aspect. Yeah, put that about notch 7. That seems to be good. We're rolling. That's one stop down. I felt like a pretty good job there. Still clear. It's I've been, you know, as most of you guys can tell, I put all of my stopping points, put most of my signal aspects and everything. That's all in the HUD. It's not a waypoint or anything on the map. I just want to get that immersion factor in, and just rely on the HUD, like, you know, like we all used to do back in the old train sim 1 days. So still good, still clear. Having a few frame stutters, but I think that's just naturally how the game's gonna work. There does seem to be a little bit more scenery and such, but you know, obviously that's, you know, it's kind of hard to optimize and such, especially since I'm recording as well. We've got another. So that's another 10-car line up there. Ooh, we are speeding. Well, we're gonna ignore the fact that we are going way over. Kept driving over speed limit a bunch. We'll bring that speed down. Alright, I think that's good on the outside. Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, even though there's not much detail, I don't know, just Train Sim World still feels like there's more life to it. And I think, yeah, just better graphics. There's better graphics, there's, you know, you're gonna get better detail. You can put a little bit more because there's a good game engine behind the sim. Just this route in particular feels like there's a lot more life in it as well, which is always nice to see. So speaking of speed limits, looks like we have 60 coming up, 0.7 miles. We'll just kind of coast for a little bit till we get up to there. 6.7 to Jamaica. And before we get to Jamaica, I do want to talk about some stuff, because yeah, it's been a while, but I haven't made a video since Dovetail Games announced the Rush Hour DLC, which basically is just an update to TSW2, and it's just going to include 3 new routes. It's very similar, I think, to how they've been updating the train sims, or train simulator, I should say, or TS1, where they basically just, to update the year, they introduce like either 3 new routes, or they include a package of 3 routes. Maybe one of them might be new, just kind of depends. But the only, I mean, obviously, only really focusing on American routes. The only route that really caught my eye was the Northeast Corridor, Boston to Providence route, and I'm pretty excited for it. I think I did the math and tried to figure out the distance of that route, and I think it's about 45 miles of trackage. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good considering the previous Northeast Corridor route, which was just kind of centered around New York City. And it was just kind of like New York City and then a few places around it, and then that CSX line. It really wasn't a lot of rail. I think that was probably closer to like 25 miles in length. So to see this route, which is almost doubled that, is pretty surreal, pretty cool to see. I'm bummed out that they didn't bring over the route that they had in Train Sim World 2020, I should say. But at the same time, I kind of understand why. You know, from the most part, from what I heard from everyone, there was a lot of imperfections to it. There was just, for me, like, I don't really know when it comes to like physics. I know a lot of people were saying that the ACS 64 for Amtrak, the physics on that were really wonky. And for me, I only really did the CSX stuff, and I know that route when you go down to like Fresh Pond or something like that, like the visuals were just really bad. It really lacked on good visuals, and the scenery around it was just horrific. So I kind of get why they didn't spend the time fixing that when they could just put most of their time and energy in what they've learned and such, making a new route. But it's still going to be exciting to see the ACS 64 come back to Train Some World. And I'm sure other people are really happy about the other 2 routes that are coming out. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And I think there's another commuter service on that line as well. I think it's the Massachusetts Bay something along the lines of that. That's also being added too, which I think was a surprise to a lot of people as well. But to see both the Amtrak service and the commuter service as well, that's what's pretty good considering it's a first-time release. I'm thinking back to routes that were originally released in TS1, and I'm thinking of like Pacific Surfliner and others where it really was just one passenger service they focused on, and from there they never really worried about the commuter services on that line, even though they modeled it in the route. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that, and like I said, I think I'm looking forward to it as much as everyone else is. And we do more passenger stuff. I'm just excited for more Amtrak stuff. And I wish we had like Pacific Surfliner back, or like Donner Pass or any other route where there's major Amtrak presence. I kind of wish there was some more of that. So yeah, that's the passenger talk out of the way. Obviously, I want to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on the Rush Hour DLC, so make sure you drop that in the comments and let me know what you guys think. We're coming up less than 2 miles of Jamaica, but we do have this 35. I think it's because we're switching lines. I know we did that a couple miles back as well, where it's slowed down to 60 just to make the turnout. I think we slowed down a little bit too much, I think. I think I gauged my speed a bit wrong there, but that's okay. We do have a yellow up ahead. We do have the approach. So it's always good to kind of slow down for that, because the next signal might be red. In this case, it's green, which is good to see. It starts slowing down for that 35. We're still doing good on time, which is awesome. Jamaica's just going to be in the background. Yeah, like, actually, that's a good example right there. Ooh. Like, on distance, there's some hills there, but there's not really, like, detail there. I feel like those hills are kind of close. And that's kind of what the, that New York line that was added, the Northeast Corridor line that was added in Train Sim World 2020, it kind of had issues like that. Like, even though it's not really in the main line of sight, it's still kind of a distraction for the players that there really isn't much. I mean, even over here, there's really not that much detail. So, yeah, it's hard to balance that. It's hard to optimize that, which I completely understand from a development standpoint. But I still feel like it can be done. You can always continue to optimize, and as the game engines get better, computers get better, and the gaming systems get better, you can continue to add more. So hopefully this is just a stepping stone to improving this kind of stuff. So we have a 15 up ahead. Is that M7 just sitting there? Looks like it. Looks like it. I think it's just chilling there. Oh, alright, now we're hitting the frames. Hope PC doesn't crash on me. I had a few PC crash moments already, but I think that's just because I kind of had like the wrong, or I think my brother and I were trying to figure out which NVIDIA drivers were working, and NVIDIA has like 2 different drivers. There's like a studio driver, and then there's like game ready driver. And I think we switched to the studio driver just because I was having Premiere Pro issues, and we forgot to switch it back to the game ready driver. So I kept, all my games were really underperforming. So make sure we fix that. Let's make sure we get down to the 15, and we're here in Jamaica. Is it Jamaica? Jamaica. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Like I said, I feel like I pronounce every name wrong. Here we are. It's a cool station. I'm good on time again, which is awesome. Slowly rolling through. It's pretty surreal. That's the other thing as well that I think Rush Hour was trying to add, was just add more variety of like people at stations and such. And while I feel like they were kind of over exaggerating and overhyping that, it's going to be a nice visual to see maybe more pedestrians and such. Again, it's just one of those things that will help bring the route to life a little bit more, to see a variety of passengers, variety of pedestrians. You know, heck, more traffic, more car traffic would be awesome. All right, so get slowed up here. About just under a minute on time. Lovely stuff. Stop right at the end. Perfectly. 30 seconds to spare. And I don't know what side to open up on. I guess we could do right. Yeah, because I guess that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I could have done it on both, but right one is a bit closer. It's very close, considering that. Internal. Seconds. Lock the right. And lock the right side. Very good. This is such a cool area. I mean, you can kind of see in the distance if I zoom in here. You got tracks going up and over. You got tracks going under. It's pretty cool. I mean, actually behind us as well, I think there's a couple places where the tracks kind of go over and under. Just kind of bizarre, especially since that incline over there, I believe, is pretty steep. But, you know, this isn't heavy freight service or anything like that. So commuter stuff can go a lot more ridiculous than this. Alright, so I think we're still into that 15. Did see a 35, I think, appear before that 80 appeared in the top right. So we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled. So we're going to Woodside next. Still doing good. Our 15, a little bit of a frame drop, but we'll just ignore that. Cars there. That's one thing I feel like every developer seems to struggle with, like highway routes. Well, they kind of got that down there. Okay, yeah, there's like single lanes, just one direction. I always pick on developers when they have a hard time doing highways. It's like, you didn't have enough time to program the AI cars to do that stuff. Like, that's one thing that bugs me, and especially for someone who's worked on that Donner Pass modernizing series and TS1. Like, visuals are just so important to me, and I feel like the route just does not come to life if you don't have visuals. And if there's just a lot of copy and paste, and it just doesn't seem right, then it doesn't feel right. So, yeah. It's not like I want to be a route developer, even though it would be cool. I would actually love to just be given the tools, be told, here, make a route. I would totally do that. But I understand it's definitely not easy, especially when you're trying to optimize it for every console. You know, every gaming platform, the two consoles that we can play on. Alright, we're still going uphill a little bit. Got that 80 coming up. We're still restricted to, I think, that 35. A little bit of a grade. We're gonna be close on time to Woodside here. The amount of time we have and how many miles we got going. Coasting phase. Might be in that 80 shortly. Just waiting for the 10th car to pass the block. There we go. There's our 80. It's going to jump up the power handle. Still got that all clear up ahead. Get the speed up here. And approach about half a mile. Let's see where that approach is going to take us if we're going to have to stop after that. Still approach. Ooh, driven 100 miles. Nice. Okay. See, I wasn't lying when I did this for a bit. I was playing this route for quite a bit when I was having all those PC issues. So I'm using this route as like a test to see what can my PC do and what can it not do. Okay, yeah, that's just the cab signaling. So it looks like we're still good. Ooh, some frame drops. So that might be because I'm doing OBS recording, but unless we'll be doing okay here. 3.8 miles. Still pretty good here. We are like wobbling through this curve. But it's a good thing the only weight physics in Train Sim World is forward and backwards. I'm kind of glad there's not like side to side weight transfer. I know that exists in TS1, but in TSW, honestly, I'm kind of glad that doesn't exist. I don't know why. Let's keep it at 80. We do got a 60 coming up in 2.3 miles. That's going to be around the same time we start slowing down for Woodside. I don't think I should be too concerned about that. Well, let's keep coasting here. 0.5% downhill. Yeah, this is rough. This is rough and bouncy. Looking pretty good. I'm keeping an eye on that speed here. Still green as well. It'll be really good on time to Woodside, more than I thought. Still good. Still good. Kind of just watch everything go by. Yeah, if you... This is really feeling the speed right here. We are flying. Just looking outside the cab and holy moly. Let's go ahead and bring some brakes in so we can get down to that 60. That's a yellow. I hope this is red after that. I'm still clear. Yeah, signals for me is probably the toughest part on passenger routes. Yeah, and the cab signaling is weird too. I don't really understand it as much as I think I should. Probably clear the 60 fine if we keep like this. Uphill a little bit, which is actually going to help us a lot. Yep. Just coast from here. 0.7% grade is going to help us slow down a bit. That wasn't the other train route, was it? Oh yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, that's the CSX line that goes to like Long Pond or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's just disappointing to see that, you know, you have the remnants of that Northeast Corridor route around New York City, and the fact that Dovetail Games might not do anything about it. You know, yeah, while the Long Island Railroad's kind of a part of Penn Station, it's, you know, at the same time, Amtrak is probably the biggest role there, so. And especially with how many Amtrak routes we have around the Northeast Corridor line in TS1. We just need that in TSW too. Let's see what we're doing. We'll be in a 45. I think we're still good on the signal. We just got to get slowed down here for the station. Let's get a little bit more. Brake. I might pass the end here just a little bit more than I'd like to. Yeah, it's a little bit farther than I like to, but that's okay. Still not bad, considering our time and whatnot. Wow, we are just not stopping. I think it's a part of some sort of like dynamic brake system, like a combination of, it's a combination of like main train brakes and dynamic brakes. Oh, past. No, no one's getting off here. No one likes Hillside, Woodside, whatever it's called. Got our times here. Cool. Oh yeah, we got a minute to spare. Doing good. I'm always really bad at times on passenger routes, but we're gonna be doing really good here. Let's go back inside. Nice little cab. Yeah, I do really like those, like the gimbal lights. For some reason that just, I don't know. Seems comforting. I don't know why. Just strange like that. The next, another exterior shots, shall we? Shall we? That's a lot of words to say at once. I really love the boom camera though. So I'm still on the classic controls. I for some reason, oh my gosh, that's a lot of detail underneath. I didn't realize that. I really don't like the immersion controls. I've never liked them ever since they introduced them. Partly because there is a few control scheme stuff that they left out. I mean, there's some things in the immersion controls I like they use the left stick for your zoom, and that's something you don't have on the classic controls. But since I'm on a PC and I can use my mouse to zoom in and out, you know, that's perfectly fine for me. I can do that. But yeah, the immersion control just kind of lacks few things, and it is a bit annoying. Just like the sounds of the cars winding up here. I really don't like the sound of that. That's probably why I don't like a lot of commuter stuff. It's just really annoying. I like the sound of a diesel electric, not full electric. Here you guys. Looks like we got a 45 we're in. Next stop is our last stop, New York Penn. Not doing too bad, getting a lot done here in this. Actually, if we go the other way, we could probably see New York City from here. Oh, we could. Wherever it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. Get the speed down. Oh, we're at 2% downhill. Yep, there it is in the background. I think that's the One World Trade Tower. Okay, now I gotta focus because I have not done the route this way. I think every time I've played has been coming from New York Penn. So now we're getting to familiar territory because I think that's the Amtrak line. It goes up over there and you can see the overhead wires for that. Oh, I did not see that speed. Well, bummer. I knew we were gonna get one speeding issue in this. Yeah, and there's just something about when the speed reads in the top right. You know, I've caught it a few times that it will change occasionally. Yeah, I don't know why we were in that little bit of a down speed zone, because now it's telling us back up to like 60. And yeah, now I don't know what speed we're gonna be at. I think we are at 60, but yeah, that little speed drop just really caught me off guard. Which is kind of annoying, but I mean, I don't think it's going to drop the AP points any worse than, or it's going to reduce my chance of getting AP points. Yeah, see the speed dropped again to like 60. Okay, wait. Oh wait, no. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I thought that limit thing changed again. See what it's like. We'll just keep paying attention. The biggest thing is going to be the signal aspects. I mean, I think we can speed all we want today, but make sure we're doing good on the aspects. We're still clear here, which is the best part. Yeah, there's like nothing in the Amtrak areas either. Like, you think they would have added something, but they didn't even do that. It just seems so barren in this yard, which is a bit embarrassing. Yep, there we go. Now we're getting close to New York. Oh no, that's probably Empire State Building. I'm sorry. I said One World Trade Center, but that's not the center of New York City. Okay, ooh, we got downhill. Ooh, just drops like that. These elevation changes are insane. Still clear, that's for the other track, thank goodness. Yeah, that is Empire State Building. Okay, here we go, we're in the tunnel. And we got a 15 in 2.4. Oh, that basically is New York Penn. Okay, so New York Penn's about 2 miles in, which is about right. And looks like we're just be coasting. We're through the tunnel. I love the lights through here. It's so cool. And it really pops in this game engine as well. Still clear for the most part. A little bit of speeding. Okay. Brakes down. Yes, one thing I don't like about the lighting is that the headlights for locomotives aren't as far as they should be. Like you can see, it only really goes up to about here. And the lights should be able to go all the way down like here. They should illuminate a lot more. I mean, probably even further than that. I mean, just living by tracks and seeing trains go by at night. I mean, they light up a long ways down the line before the loco even gets there. So, I mean, again, that might be just optimization stuff. It's really hard to do that, but I still think that's capable without destroying frames and whatnot. But at least this tunnel is lit, so that does help it. A lot of grade changes through here, going underneath the waterways and such around the Manhattan area. Might as well start slowing down. We're doing really good on our time schedules for this, which has been awesome. Let's go ahead and get down to the 15 that we're expected at in about half a mile here. Just coast a little bit more, and actually we could probably just keep it coasted. 1.5% grade coming up back up to the station. Yeah, and the engineering feat to be able to tunnel underneath water and such is pretty crazy. Oh yeah, we're doing really good. We're getting a little bit more power into it here. So make sure we don't have to stop. Still got an approach. Top right, just make sure that doesn't become a red. Okay. 300 yards. At 15 miles per hour. Doing good so far. Want to jinx it? Yeah, I could miss a signal aspect completely. Still at the approach. We're at the 15 we want. I love using an Xbox controller on this. I do really want the rail driver, but that's gonna have to wait for a little bit. Yep, there we go. We're at the 15. Still at the approach. 500 yards to where we need to stop. Do a little bit more power here. Here we are, New York Penn. The approach, which I think is that signal up there. And there's our red. There's our danger, which is pretty much right at the end, so we're just gonna make sure we don't overshoot this. Otherwise, we have screwed this entire thing over. Oh, there's some floating block right there. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I don't know which red signal this is, but it's probably that one right there. So we're just gonna stop near it. Yeah, the stop at destination's pretty close to it, but we can stop a little bit ahead of it, which is fine. Slowly roll in to New York Penn. Someone's going up the escalator. I didn't know the AI did that. Alright, this is stopping a bit early. Coast a little bit more. Man, even though I was bashing the lighting of the locomotive, the lighting in here is still pretty cool. 70 yards to go. Oh. M7 next to us. It's also opening their doors. Yep, there's the signal we don't want to pass. Otherwise, your days as an engineer are up. Yeah, we could probably stop it right here. About 35 yards to it. Beautiful. It's going to unlock the left side. Go to the external. There we have it. The hustle and bustle. Oh, forgot to even turn the thing off there. Hustle and bustle of New York Penn is alive. No one's getting in or out of our consist. That's great. Very good. On time. Yes. We are on time. Oh, we gotta lock the doors apparently. Left. And I think that completes it. Yes. What do we got? Gold star. That was awesome. I don't think I've ever been so pumped in my life over a passenger scenario. That was pretty good. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, time taken only about 41 minutes. That's much better than I originally anticipated. But yeah, even that's we only drove about 26 miles or so. And there's a little bit more when you go down to like that Queens Gate station or whatever it is. Obviously, that's a little bit more trackage for this route, so it's actually not a lot. And when you look at like the Boston to Providence route, I think it's going to be a little bit longer than this. So, yeah, I mean, for us to have done those 4 stops there, and yeah, time-wise, about a minute. A couple places we were 2 minutes ahead of time, and we did some good stopping accuracy. Well, I think Jamaica was probably our best one. Mineola second best. Woodside, I think Woodside was the one who went a little bit far there, and then New York Penn, just making sure we don't hit the danger at the very end of the platform in New York Penn. So yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, like I said, I can get more videos cranked out and more content for the channel. Obviously, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and comment down below any of your thoughts and comments about anything that I've mentioned in this video or anything that you'd like to ask me about. For now, though, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.